Well, good Sunday morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. It is a little bit before 9 a.m. on April 27th, 2014. It is a Sunday. We do run the risk for a few thunderstorms this afternoon, some of which could be strong to severe. We'll talk about that here in a minute. I wanted to bring you the latest in a quick video update before you start your morning. All right. Today's video update is sponsored by Metal Magic in Washington. You can give Chad a call at 698-8555 for all of your paintless dent repair needs. Folks, they have the Traveling Hail Team, PDR Nation certified. When you take your stuff to them, you know that you're going to get it done right. They've gone that extra mile to get those extra certifications. Folks, write that number down because you may need them over the next couple of days. All right, let's take a look. Start off with the good, and then we'll go to the bad. All right, the good news is if you were to look outside right now, it's gorgeous out there, and we'll stay that way through probably about midday. We got some sunshine this morning. That'll stay that way, as I said, through about midday, and then the rain starts to come in the afternoon. The bad news is, got rain in the forecast for the next 7 days. It just looks like this low that is going to move in our area just sort of sits in our area and does some little loop-de-loops around and just sort of stays and hangs around for days, and that's going to leave those rain chances in for us for days. The other side of the good news is we've been removed out of the severe weather risk for Tuesday, which I think is a good move, the way the latest in the modeling has come. I think this afternoon and evening, and then tomorrow afternoon and evening are really our only two shots at severe weather at this point. But otherwise, it's going to be a nice warm day. As you can see, temperatures in the mid to upper 70s area wide on your plan, your day forecast. We do have a slight chance of severe weather to talk about this afternoon. You can see that it does just eclipse, the slight risk does eclipse just part of our southwest Indiana counties here. If we take a look at the wind probabilities, you can see that they actually extend further into Indiana. Remember, a slight risk starts at 15%, so the slight risk starts right up around in here, but then the marginal risk does extend further on into Indiana. I wouldn't be surprised to see this potentially even expanded if the storms stay active and stay held together a little bit, potentially into Indiana. I don't think a strong thunderstorm could be ruled out for all of us. I think the better severe weather parameters are in place for Monday afternoon, so be aware of that. But you can see some very strong risks are just out to our west, and as these storms move our way, we'll just have to see how they hold together. As far as the hail parameters go, best chance of hail does look to be down around the Arkansas and Missouri area. Tornado chances also very, very strong tornado chances. This is borderline high risk. I'm honestly kind of surprised they didn't go high risk down here around the Missouri and Arkansas area, but they ended up choosing just a moderate with that. So strong, strong, strong risks to be had with that. Now that's today's outlook. If we go ahead and take a look at tomorrow's outlook while we're here, you can see that all of us are underneath of a slight risk tomorrow. Moderates to our south. If we just take a look at the probabilities, we are now in the low end, the high end, upper end. Slight risk just comes to the Ohio River now, so that's a little bit of a change from yesterday. This is going to flip-flop back and forth depending on what the models do, so this is nothing to be concerned about. Well, it is to be concerned about, but the parameters switching around back and forth, that's just nothing to be concerned about. That's a natural thing. We're going to have the potential for severe weather, whether we're in a low-end slight risk or an upper-end slight risk, just really doesn't matter. The chance is going to be there either way, so keep that in mind. So it looks like today and tomorrow we're going to have that risk. And then, as I said, I can just switch you into the day 3 outlook, which would be Tuesday, and just to show you that they have removed it from our area and put the slight risk further to the south. And of course, they had really had much of our whole area in that slight risk, but they have removed that down to the south. We still have the 5% risk, which is just sort of a marginal risk for severe weather, potentially all around us. So a strong thunderstorm can't be ruled out, but it's not something that we're going to be able to see a widespread event of. All right, let's take a look at our latest HRRR models, future radar. This is the highest resolution model that we have. Let's put this into motion here early in the morning. You can actually see showers and thunderstorms here already. This is for what 9 a.m. would be, which would be pretty close to right now, and you can see it says that we should have a few thunderstorms developing down here. We can actually go down to our model, to our radar, and I've got it into motion here for us. And if I just put it into motion, you can see they're down there. You can see it's already an active morning. You've got severe thunderstorm watches to our west with warnings up in here, one warning up and down here as well. We'll just click on it real quick, and it is warned for winds in excess of 60 miles per hour and large hail. So yeah, that's a pretty strong warning. This area here, well, thought I had this turned on already. Here we go. This area here is actually going to move our way over time, and that's the main primary concern that we're going to have to worry about tonight. It'll probably expand as it does too. Let me show you that on future radar. Watch how this blows up, all right? As it moves closer to time, you can see how it increases, pretty much just increases in coverage and moves our way. So here we are by about 3 in the afternoon, and it's knocking on our doorstep. Here's 4 in the afternoon, 5 in the afternoon, 6 in the afternoon. We will have to watch this and see whether any of this stays severe. Here's that line that's starting to form that could go severe out in there, and then watch how that quickly races our way as well. That will move through us during the overnight hours. Probably would not be severe by the time it gets to us, but these thunderstorms that could come potentially later in the afternoon could be strong to severe, so we will monitor that this afternoon. Let's take a look at what the high resolution NAM says, just to give you a couple of different perspectives on this, and we'll take a look at this. It's not quite as high resolution as the HER model is, but it's still a pretty good reliable model overall, and you can see it brings that pretty heavy swath for us as well. Here's 4 o'clock this afternoon. Actually, here's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so it speeds the timing up just a little bit. We'll just have to see where it is on radar this afternoon, but early to late in the afternoon hours we could start to see a few things. Could be severe, may not be severe. Again, it's hard to tell from future radar. You really can't tell from future radar, but regardless, we'll be monitoring it this afternoon. There is a chance of it. Then you got another deluge of rain that moves through during the overnight hours, and then you get a break during the morning hours. That'll destabilize our atmosphere, and you've got another line that's setting up to our west, and here we are by Monday. Future radar here takes it by Monday. Around 5 p.m., you've got a squall line setting up to our west. We'll have to see whether that pans out, and we'll have to adjust the timing on that as necessary. Then once that moves through, then the severe weather threat would be over, and it's just a general thunderstorm threat. So it does look like we'll have a couple of chances for severe weather. We'll have to watch it and see what it does. I could show you one other future radar as well. If I take the current radar off here and put my model fill on here, and I need to get my model manager back up so I can actually animate this for you. What we're looking at here is about 5 p.m. or so this afternoon, according to the high resolution window, the HRW model, and I just wanted to zoom in on this to show you that it's also showing that there's the potential for a line to develop. I could probably go ahead and back this up a little bit to our west, and you'll be able to see how this line, again, there's that line as it starts this morning, all right? Watch how this evolves during the daytime into a squall line for us as it moves through. And then the further it gets into Indiana, the more it starts to push apart, because, again, Indiana doesn't have as great of severe weather potential as what the others do. But certainly it'll start out with some strong thunderstorms when it moves in. So this is just one model's depiction of what could go on. So keep that in mind. All right, we'll have much more to update as the day goes by. If you go to southernindianaweather.com, you can get your updated 7-day forecast, and I'll real quick just show you this. I'm forecasting a high around 78 today. 80 might be attainable if we stay enough sunshine this afternoon, but I think it's going to go cloudy fairly quick this afternoon with the approach of the rain moving in. But otherwise, partly cloudy until midday, then mostly cloudy with scattered showers and thunderstorms. Severe weather possible this afternoon. Not dipping down very cold tonight at all, either, only down to 61. Showers and thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Again, severe weather likely later in the afternoon. Another warm high of 78. 71 on Tuesday, and then the cool down does begin, and it doesn't look like a big cool down quite as much like it was earlier, which is a good thing. But notice cloudy with a chance of showers on Wednesday. Pretty much mostly cloudy with a chance of showers on Thursday. Temperatures in the low 60s, down to the upper 50s for a high and mid 40s for a low. So that's going to be pretty cool, and that's really, keep in mind, that's about 15 degrees below average where we should be this time of year. But again, you see the broken record, right? Cloudy with a chance of showers. Take a look at Saturday. You see the pattern here, and unfortunately, that low just looks like it's going to set and spin over us over the next week and just hang out. So unfortunately, that's the pattern at hand we are in. But of course, the big thing for us today is that we do run the slight chance for severe weather this afternoon, and we'll have to see how that pans out. Better chance tomorrow, but we'll take it one day at a time. Again, damaging winds are probably going to be the main thing that we would have to worry about this afternoon. Winds, hail, and tornadoes all potentially could be in play for tomorrow. That is it for this update, folks. I'll have another one possibly this afternoon if needed. If things start to look like the situation is evolving, then I may do another one this afternoon. But make sure you keep it to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Southern Indiana Weather, and we will have plenty of updates through the afternoon if anything does develop. I'm Meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day and stay safe.